T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi, my name is Doug. I'm the president of Guardians of the Purple Heart, and we are a 501c3 approved nonprofit organization based here in southeastern Connecticut that specializes in obtaining items or services for Connecticut combat wounded veterans that aren't being met by other organizations like the VA. So what we like to think is where the VA or these other establishments have to leave off because of their corporate red tape and limitations, we can come in behind them and fulfill these needs by reaching out to the community, working with our vast network of supporters, and just coming together as a whole and supporting these Purple Heart recipients and improving their overall quality of life. A lot of people ask us how do they get involved and how do they join in on the fun with us. A lot of things you could do. Follow us on Facebook, #1, Instagram, Twitter. Go to our website at gotph.org. You can send donations, send us a message. Spread the word of what we're doing. All the Connecticut Purple Heart recipients, we are out there trying to make a difference in their lives. So please give us a hand and join in on the fun.
Bring your appetite down to Big Belly Cafe, 140 Gore Street, Webster, Mass. for curbside, takeout, and indoor seating. Visit BigBellyCafe.com to view their hours, menu, and order online. For reservations, please call ahead at 508-949-2433. Follow Big Belly Cafe on Facebook for weekly and daily specials. And remember, all veterans receive a discount for their recognition of service. Big Belly Cafe. Reedy's Archery, located in Middleborough, Mass. at 121 Wood Street, has been a staple in the area since 1993 and has become the one-stop pro shop for competitive target archers and bow hunters from New England. Reedy's is open Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure to visit Reedy'sArchery.com and follow them on Facebook to keep up with upcoming events. Reedy's Archery, dedicated to the archer. Wolf Aviation Network is the only flight school in the area utilizing the Airwolf Simulator AATD and the specialized Part 61 training program designed to save students money while increasing safety and efficiency. Creating safe pilots is our first priority. Our flight sim is the perfect training device. It is designed to prepare students adequately before taking flight in our aircraft. Fly with us and save money. Wolf Aviation. Reserve your spot at 413-563-1929 and visit wolfaviationnetwork.com.
This is what we train for, every day.
We just received new intel that there's an enemy presence at the airstrip compound.
All those years. When you're the first to arrive, it's not enough to be ready. You have to be relentless. It's our job to control the ground and the sky, wherever they may meet, even behind enemy lines. They call us one-man air traffic control towers, but we're more than that.
Ivy Lima Charlie, break. Airfield is stable. You are clear to land.
We turn hell into an airstrip. And clear the way for others to follow.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug, and today we've got Tim Chambers right here, and I'm going to have him provide us some information regarding who he is and where he comes from, and provide you also with some interesting things that and facts that he's been doing. And so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Tim. And so, Tim, if you want to go ahead and just pretty much tell us about you and tell us who you are and what things you've done.
Well, I'm the oldest of six.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom had 6 kids in a 5-year time span. She had me on Labor Day, September 1st. And my father was a Vietnam veteran.
Oh, okay.
He didn't really stick around for us, and I never held it against him because I was too busy being the oldest.
Okay.
Within a 5-year time span, and I had to help my mom, and we went through a lot of tough things. My grandparents have a farm in Oregon. I'm from Oregon. And
nice.
So I grew up working on the farm, strawberries, Christmas trees, grass seed, Like, it's so funny, Grandpa, I'm very fortunate to have that upbringing. That made the military kind of easier for me, working hard with less already as is. But Grandpa would be pushing them irrigation pipe as we're carrying them, and they'd be hitting the backs of my legs. And so my sister got mad at my stepdad and said that we were being, abused at school. And so I had to take my pants down for the principal's office to see these bruises.
Wow.
And I go, they're just from the farm, from carrying irrigation pipe. You know what I mean? I didn't say my grandpa was pushing me, obviously. But so that was the initial upbringing, and everyone that came to the strawberry fields, it was like citizens. A lot of people used to pick strawberries, and then it became people from other countries. And it didn't matter because we were all covered with the same amount of dirt as everyone else, working all day in the back of the truck, all together. Like some families from Portland, the inner city would come, and we were just all the same. And I learned how you treat people the way my grandparents treated everyone on the farm, picking the strawberries, and they never had any issues because they were shelling out cash back then, every day, to the pickers. And
So that's where you must have got your whole background and your feature and how you interact with people and what your experience
and energy, all hills, dragging Christmas trees, throwing strawberry crates around, being up at 4 a.m. to beat the pickers to the field, canning everything under the sun, So I was pretty open-minded in like a worldly sense of just humanity. caring about. And that's why I've never put myself above anyone else, because I've been delivering cannabis. I did Uber and Lyft. I delivered food. Like, I've done everything, and nothing's above me. Even as I got to E6, I would sweep the deck. I would mop the head. You know what I mean? Because I had pride in what I was doing, and we had pride on the farm. So it all kind of just rolled on. And the Marine Corps emulated that, the pride that you take in yourself. You tuck in your shirt, you wear a belt, all those things. You emulate what you're wearing in your uniform. Liberty is a privilege, okay? I grew up with that mindset from my grandpa that was a Coast Guard veteran from World War II.
Yeah.
And he kept that hoe right next to my behind, like, So very lucky with that upbringing. And then I was the mascot in high school.
Oh, geez. What was that?
It was the Silverton Fox. And there's a picture on Instagram that I'll get to you that's got me doing a double toe touch on the front page of the yearbook, because I was the most spirited kid. And usually they get this spirit award that goes to like a senior. Well, I was a freshman. At the end of my freshman year, I got this award. I captivated the whole community. I captivated the whole conference wearing a costume. Okay. Like no one knew my name, right? Incognito. But in town, small town, Mom would be like doing something, and they're like, how's the fox doing? They wouldn't say like, how is your son doing? Okay. So that enthusiasm, he kicked in at an early stage. I had to play with my brother and sisters. I had to get them dressed. I had to get them to school. I had to feed them at like age 8. Okay. So that energy of taking care of people was early on. And I had to be persuasive. So it wasn't the older brother with the iron fist, So then the farm, then the mascot, captivating crowds like crazy. And believe me, I'm just Tim. I'm just telling you, it's crazy. And then the Marine Corps loved that enthusiasm. It was motivated A-duty future and CO Lance Corporal Chambers. I may help you. You know what I mean? Like enthusiasm. It wasn't about getting promoted. It wasn't about trying to look good, because, like, for instance, people question the salute. And I'm like, how can someone do that for 21 years if it was just to look good? Because there's nothing easy about it. It's not,
Yeah, I get that, and it's sad that people just question the salute, and it's nice to see that you're an individual like yourself to go ahead and do the things like that, and do these over so many years of being, just be able to. But I really don't know how to say it, but you do whatever it takes to get the job done, and you don't mind getting your hands dirty. And be able to help and take care of your family, and as your mom's there and everything, but it's just
and I love the Marine Corps. I didn't get to do a whole lot. Okay, medical limitations didn't let me go to war and things like that. And it's kind of heartbreaking, because it's not because I'm gung-ho about wanting to go fight and kill, because I don't think anyone that's in the right mind thinks that way necessarily, except for kids playing video games these days. But it was more, it was more about just, I don't have children. So I wanted to take the stead for someone who did have children, you know what I mean? Because that's important, because our country's not doing enough for those kids.
I'm
just saying, and so not a combat vet, but always done volunteer work my whole life. And I just, I didn't know much about Rolling Thunder. The year before 2001, I was actually a partner with the Korean War Commemoration Committee, educating people about the Korean War and giving long overdue appreciation to our Korean War veterans. And there's some photos of me in the Korean War attire over by the Korean War Monument, educating people and toasting sparkling apple cider. And I learned a lot about the Korean War. They say the Forgotten War, but they call it the Forgotten Victory. And that was kind of the first time that, American government started to step in more, and it got worse over the years, sadly.
Absolutely.
So I lost 10 pounds wearing this Parker for 3 days out by the Korean War Monument educating. The next year I thought, I'm coming out here in my dress blues. I am going to walk around and greet people and thank people and learn about our history, because we're big about our history.
Yeah.
So aimlessly, I'm just walking around, you know. And then I see all these bikes zooming by, and I'm like, geez, there's a lot of veterans on those bikes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them won't be here with us next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they ever really going to get thanked, you know? And, you know, this didn't dawn on until maybe about 4 years ago. 9/11 had just happened.
Yeah.
And that's my only thing to write home about. I was there. I spent several days going into the wreckage, bringing out bodies. So that was my judgment call. Like, that was my gut check. Because if I couldn't handle that, I would have got out, because I would have served another way. You know, we can all serve. And now that we're out, we still have to serve, you know, like, because we care about people in our country. Like, as if we never served, we'd probably be serving, right? Because we volunteered to serve to begin with. So, so I see them rolling by, and I go, look, I don't want to meet them at funerals. And that's all I was doing, you know, like going to funerals. And so I jumped down the street and popped up a salute. Because I knew they would know what that means, you know. And a lot of people over the years, they have a lot of dictations on their perception on what I'm doing. It's very interesting to read and see, you know. And it really has evolved. But so the reason why I brought the 9/11 in the picture was because I think that, like, something in my mind, which didn't surface until a few years ago, was about, like, we just lost all those Americans. You know, like, were they ever appreciated? I don't want to lose a bunch of Americans like that again. And then I top it off with, these are people that were never appreciated.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cliche check in the box of thank you for your service is so hollow. It's got to be backed up with action. I don't mean money, but I mean, like, oh, you paint? Also, you're a painter? Well, I'm gonna send everyone I know. That's how I'm gonna thank you for your service. Is I'm gonna bring you business, because then you're gonna keep yourself accountable to yourself. You're not gonna feel unloved, because people are gonna keep knocking on your door, not just a handshake in passing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be relied upon too. So you're gonna be kind of serving again. You're gonna be put back in the ranks, and you're gonna hold yourself accountable to yourself. Which, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, because that's what you're looking at in the mirror when you're all alone, when the field trips are done.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a marketing package to enlist citizens to do that. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. As you're working on that.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's going to be a marketing 101. Hopefully colleges will partner with me, and all the students at college that are learning marketing will go find a veteran that has their own business in their community. And so the money raised is the money that's directly put in the pockets of people that are still alive, because they're marching forward.
Yeah.
And they have a calling. They have a calling. And they're serving by providing a service too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned this, I just spoke to someone just the other day regarding marketing and stuff like this. And they're not a veteran themselves, but they help veterans like this to be able to help those things. He's done like subcontractor stuff with DOD. I'm gonna send you his information and provide it to you. And he's been helping a lot of veterans with marketing, you know, that want to hire veterans and stuff like that. And so I think you will actually be a good partner with him and may be able to help you with this. Because he knows a lot of people, you know, like yourself, you know, he wants to be out there and help people, and the connections that he has. He's like a politician almost, and he works the room constantly. with everybody and gets those connections. And so he started. He was the starting of the Verizon program. You know, the early 2000s of hiring veterans and stuff.
Mm.
I'm gonna send you his information because again, I think you will be a great partner up with him and get you taken care of and get your stuff probably even taken off quicker. Absolutely.
Okay. Get it. We're going to promote them. We're going to enlist them. They are going to take an oath, and they are going to get awards. You know, we don't do enough of commending the deserving. We're too busy encouraging the wayward, my friend. That's out of the NCO creed for the Marine Corps. Now,
absolutely,
we got to back it up. We got to raise the ante. Dominoes are still falling. It's become a cliche check in the box. Take it a step further. We need them to serve so they can say they never served, never, ever again.
Yeah.
And the money raised is the money made, and it's the money in the pockets where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
That's
who he is, and this is be a great fit for between you guys, and how he runs his stuff. It's how Andy runs his wounded vet run. It's 100% of the proceeds goes straight to the veterans, and it takes care of the veterans, and it doesn't take care of anybody else because we all volunteer our time. And it's just like mine with my nonprofit, it's the Track Day for Veterans. 100% of the proceeds go straight into the veterans. It doesn't go anywhere else. You know, all the board members and everything, volunteers. We all volunteer our time. You know, volunteers coming out and help. Volunteers are volunteers, and this is what they want to do. And this is how the other guy. I'm going to have you.
And those vets will give back. Those vets will get in the ranks and do more for the community. You know, but it's hard to run your own business. You know, I don't expect any of them to pop back some money, but I got one real estate agent that will donate money back. Now, it's good that we can say that there's no incomes, but there are there are expenses, okay? Like podcast. I'm using my phone. I want a mirrorless camera because I want to start capturing people's stories when I travel. Out of my own pocket, I bought $400 little square mics that I thought I was going to be able to use with my phone. They don't work with my phone. And they're high-speed, low-drag ones. You know what I mean? That clip on here.
Really? Oh,
like,
they're really...
Those real good ones. What are they called? What's that brand?
DJI. The DJI ones?
Oh, Rode.
Yes.
I mean...
Same.
DJIs are the same ones. I have
and I've not even used them. I've had them for 3 years, maybe 4. They've been in a plastic bag. I'm like, oh my God, did I lose them? Thank God I haven't lost them yet. You know what I mean? Okay, getting stories out is another very important thing. Kind of like what you're doing with your podcast. It's very important. People feel like they've been forgotten, and then it's just a downhill slide from there. And,
absolutely.
Then they think maybe an animal will help. And it helps.
Yeah.
But there's always that 10%. Like, I had to inspect rooms every week. Otherwise, they'd be nasty, okay? I hope more love is going to that dog than that room that they didn't clean, okay? I'm a little concerned about when I see a dog in a really loud concert venue in a bar because I'm wondering about their ears and stuff. But, we got to take care. We have 7 cats. They're all rescue cats. They should be on the PT list, okay? Because cats are pretty good for you. Just like a dog. I mean, a dog is more awareness and things if you're traveling. I get it.
Yeah.
That's so awesome to hear that. And I've been on an island. I've helped vets with unaffordable dental, my friend. A basic necessity. Don't you think that's kind of important? Confidence in health. And if you're not 100%, you're not getting any kind of help with dental.
Yeah.
And the
I just had a lady on just the other day, Jane Bancock. She's a VSO who she knows all the stuff ways around and getting veterans connected with for the dental and stuff like that as being service connected. But
unemployability or 100%, basically.
Yes. There's so many ways that she said she can get access to, works her way into it. Said she's able just to know how to word it correctly so that the veterans can get into it, because the doctors need a certain way that it's worded, and these VSOs know these things, and be able to, pretty much be able to take care of it. So send me everything. I want to send it, put it all into it, and help process it and advertise it and stuff like that. All the platforms, Amazon Music, iTunes, have it on the TV that I'm broadcasting it off of on as well. Even as well as the Brockton TV network. Whatever I can do, please just send it to me, and I'll get it added onto it. And so it's all free to you, because that's what we're all about. This means a lot to me. That means a lot to you. Means a lot to a lot of people. And this is what we need to help one another out. Keep me updated with everything, so I can make sure that I have it all ready.
Absolutely. And the other attack mode, my friend, the other avenue of approach is our youth.
Yeah.
Okay, I published this children's book.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's about the flag.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The kid didn't stand for the flag. The dad takes him to D.C.
Wow.
on a motorcycle.
Wow.
And he learns that people march for freedom and march for equality. And that's who we honor when we stand for the flag. And he meets
what's the name of it?
What's called the Saluting Marine Presents Honor. We kept it Marine proof, okay?
The Saluting what?
The Saluting Marine Presents Honor.
Saluting Marine Presents
And
Honor.
It's the first book of eventually a 3-book set. But the kid, I grabbed some Mr. Rogers stuff for the kid to do, when he meets me.
Yeah.
And I said further education, somebody would be called upon to make a decision. Usually when I write this on my 8x11s for people when I have kids, I'd say, you'll make a decision that will save lives.
Yeah.
But I put help others to kind of downgrade it a little bit in the book, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
And then I stole some Mr. Rogers stuff. You're special just the way you are. Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Respect your elders. Listen to your teachers. Keep your ears open. Listen to all different types of people. We can learn so much from each other,
Yeah.
But the most important one is add something to the flag. Imagine that. Like you tell kids to make a country better, add something to the flag. Give you another reason why I'm saluting the flag. But add something to the flag, it's our moral compass.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get lost, but if we look at the flag and remember what it represents, we can find our way. And I should add at this last line, we can make things better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You're adding something to it to, I don't know how to say it, but it's like you're trying to prove the American flag, how it represents, and when we get lost and stuff, it's like, we're considered the United States, United States of America, so that we're united, not, being divided, and we're staying true to ourselves and helping one another
Yes, and
out.
society didn't get the full picture when all that came up, because you're also honoring the people that made things better over the generations. And it's sad that it took this long to make some of these things better that still aren't quite as good as they should be, right?
Yeah.
So we can all agree to that on many levels. And that's what I felt like society missed out, that the flag represents the good. And if we didn't have all that sacrifice, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to make things better, because we're under that flag, And then at the end of the book, the kid is saluting when the dad looks down. He's not only standing, my friend.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. I'm right on for it, and
I'm about action, motivator. I'm about action. Like when I jumped off that curb, the end of it, it was so emotional. I saw motorcycles rolling around me with tears rolling down their faces. And then bikes were pulling over behind me. And it wasn't until like 3 or 4 years later that I learned that people were having to pull over because they couldn't see. See.
What I want to do with that book is I want to get I want to purchase a few of those books, so I want to be able to donate them to the schools in the area in Central Mass, because I want to give them each school. I want to
invite me to come to the school, Motivator.
Absolutely, invited. I will get you work on the dates and all that, but we'll get this squared in.
And I've got the printer. And it's so important to me that I have the printer. We can order them directly at cost from the printer, okay?
Okay.
Boom shakalaka. See, there's a bigger purpose in life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It always is. It's my whole life. It's your life, obviously. Like, we're no different, okay? So the end of the, we spent about an hour embracing people after my first salute that year. And I just felt like it was my moral post.
Yeah.
And I went back every year since 2002, and this will be my 22nd year.
Wow, that's...
not being a combat vet, I was in Kentucky. I went to an event, and I was at the Waffle House. And I used to call the Waffle House my last chance for romance at the end of the night, So they're like, what would you like? I like, for an appetizer, I'd like a pecan waffle, extra crispy, please. And they're like, how do you like your eggs? I'm like my women over easy. So anyways, I'm in line to pay, okay? And there's this young kid behind me. He's got a Fu Manchu going on.
Yeah.
And he sees this shirt. I made a shirt that has me like saluting from the back. And the bikes are rolling around me, and it says thank you, and it goes through all the war's veterans. Wow. And he goes, I know that Marine. I'm like, what? He goes, I know that Marine. And I'm like, well, I'm actually that guy, And he goes, oh my God. He goes, keep doing it. He goes, keep doing it.
Yeah.
He goes, when I came back from war, I had to give up my motorcycle. Now I go to school and I bounce at night at a bar, And I never in a million gazillion years would ever have thought that was going to mean something to one of my era fellow brothers and sisters, even though I didn't go to war, because I usually just get a lot of hate. Desert Storm, Vietnam, Korea, Somalia, Bosnia, Kosovo, all those times, I never felt the hate that I get from OIF, OEF. It kills me because, I've not made any. When you say make money, you talk about supporting yourself. This was not a way to support myself in my life. And even if I did one episode of Sons of Anarchy, why can't people be happy? Like, one of our own is making money. That's all we should care about. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but we are so mean to each other, and that leads down a bad track for people. And it hurts because I'm doing everything with my heart. And before I jumped off the curb, I was doing programs in schools for kids. I was just killing it in the spirit of volunteerism, before 9/11. I went in 94, okay, so to give you a little kind of, and I never even got disrespected by young E4s in the chow hall that had a combat action ribbon on. That was from Desert Storm. Somalia, Kosovo, Bosnia, so Army and Marines, I never got any disrespect from them. You know what I mean? And they had it, right? But they never went and said, "Oh, he's a boot. Oh, go get this ribbon. Go prove yourself." And you should really be a little tighter together, than that.
So I got to touch a little bit on that. I've had other soldiers that that have deployed and stuff like that, and they don't even wear those combat patches. They just they choose to wear it, or they choose not to. It really doesn't make it anybody different, and or more important than them, just because they see in combat. It's still, it doesn't make it any. They really didn't want to make it any different. They were able to wear it or not wear it.
Heartbreaking, because we're family and we're supposed to be there. And would you rather have me do it or some guy that played on an episode of Sons of Anarchy? I mean, honestly, right? Yeah. Society. It's very strange birds there. But so I've continued to do the salute. And like 1 year, a kid came out in front of me.
Yeah.
And he kneeled because I had a weapon. I took leave. If I was in the Army, they would have given me PTAD, permissive TAD, baby.
Yeah.
They would not have made me use my leave for this marketing campaign I was on, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did name reading in every state along the 40, and we had the weapon, and citizens read the names from that state.
Wow.
In every state. So then in D.C., we did it at the World War II Memorial and read all the names. And because they have a pillar for every state, which is kind of neat. People from those states went to those states and hung out at the pillar. So anyways, I had this weapon with me in boots, so I put it in front of me. And this kid kneeled in front of the boots and the weapon as the bikes are rolling around. Very emotional. I don't even know where he came from. And then he disappeared. Later, I found out that his father had died in the war, and he was living with his grandpa. So the next year, he came with his grandpa, and he jumped off the bike in front of me, and I didn't have the weapon with me, so I kneeled with him. He kneeled again.
Wow.
And I kneeled with him to reinforce his courage to practice his own faith.
Wow. That's absolutely moving. If you could just see, I'm getting goosebumps right here. It's unbelievable. That's just amazing. It shows you how much that kid has really still loved his father, and being passionate because his father served his country. And he has a bond with his father. He's just trying to remember his father and pay respects to him and honor him. It's very honoring that he's doing this, and it's the brothers and sisters in arms.
That's why in the book I have this page after the dad zooms off, because he's like, "When can I ride on the bike someday, son?" Well, this picture right here is, why does dad always look at this photo, Mom? It's his buddy. He misses him. Like how you miss your buddy who moved away last summer.
Yeah.
So then at the back of the book, and the editor thought this wouldn't be appropriate, but like what you're saying, kids actually are evolving a lot quicker, with understanding and empathy and things, amazing things like that. And this is something that kids could grow into, but I felt it was important because they go to Arlington on their way out of D.C. And he goes, "Who's this, Dad?" "He's my buddy. His picture's on the wall at home. He saved my life.
Wow.
I miss him. We named you after him."
Wow. That's very close to me. It just makes more goosebumps all over it. Because again, I've lost someone really. I've lost friends. I've lost loved ones. I consider him my brother, my cousin, even though he's not, from the blood, but he's also one of the ones that we've lost that is 22 a day, he made it multiple times Iraq, and he's an EOD, and I still have his picture. I have his dog tags. I named my son after him. And
wow,
you know, it's moving. You know, I've done the same thing as, that guy has done. It's a lot, and it takes a lot on you. Which is my first son, and I named him after him. It's Jacob Allen, and then Dustin's his middle name. That's what I did, and his name is Dustin Goforth, and he's gone way too soon, way too young. But the way I can honor him is name him my son after him. He was an EOD technician, multiple deployments. I totally get it with it. It's very moving that you put that in there, and just knowing that that's very, and that's what us other veterans all think of as brothers and sisters in arms, because he saved my life. That's what he's pretty much saying is pretty much he saved my life, and and it could have been me.
And then he lays at night in bed after he's thinking about his travel,
Yeah.
And he wants to honor his dad and the hero he was named after, and grow up to be like the saluting Marine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And how he can make his country a better place and add something to the flag.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely amazing, and it's going to be a 5-part series?
3. Honor, courage, commitment.
3.
Courage, my friend. Oh, it's going to be so epic. It's going to be dedicated to our inner city youth.
Wow.
We're going to honor the Army in that book. In the first page, Grandma is looking at the computer and just sees a silhouette of a Marine, whatever. And the kid goes, Grandma, why are you crying? You see that Marine? Your mama and your grandpa wore that uniform in the Army.
Yeah.
This Marine's going to be in town. We'd like to meet him. I don't think so,
Yeah.
Grandma. I don't think we have anything in common. She says, why? Because of the color of your skin? I marched with a great man that said it's how you treat people.
Yeah.
So she meets me, and she knows my rank.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know my rank. My mom taught me the rank structure when she taught me my ABCs.
Wow. Yeah.
My mom doesn't live with me anymore, but I get to see her all the time. Would you like to meet her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she takes me to the cemetery.
Wow.
My mom used to say it was harder to survive here at home in the streets, but after her 3rd trip with the Army, she started to feel really heavy. One night, she fell asleep and didn't wake up. I want to be brave like my mom.
Yeah.
So as we go through her community, she understands that I let her know that she's brave every day, just like her mom. But we go by these people and they're like, she goes, don't bother them with Staff Sergeant Tim. They're just mad with me because I won't let my older brother sell their bad candy that our aunt's hooked on. We never see her anymore.
Wow.
Did you know that bad candy's in my neighborhood too? And the same thing happened to my cousin.
Yeah.
Really? And at the end, she wants me to stay with her. And I tell her, I'm sorry, I can't. Because when I was young like you, I didn't further my education.
Yeah.
So now while all my friends are out playing, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Now, book 3 was going to be dental. The kids are going to take the saluting Marine to the dentist because he didn't brush his fangs.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll be faith. Now, faith can come in many ways. It can come in the next day, the sun rising, a real general sense of not giving up and not quitting, in essence, is kind of what I'm thinking about, It was just going to be dental, though, you know what I mean? Like, these are down the middle of the road. And the saluting Marine, I brought so many people together by staying in the middle of the road, but I just like fairness, and I know the standards that we were held to, and I don't think we're ever going to see that in society, the accountability and the responsibility And so I don't think society has any right to judge anyone that ever served in the military, no matter what their characterization of service is, okay?
Yeah.
It's just weird the powers that be have brainwashed our society to think that they can treat us the same way that they treated us. You know, like they've got no right to discount anyone that served in the military held to such high standards. And that leads to 22 a day. I mean, and it's more. And I hear the stories. And I just think we have a very pompous society that is going to say, oh, that Marine in uniform can't be there. I mean, what do you care? You let the government send us everywhere. And you care about me being at a hotel in Florida in my uniform because you think I might be connected to someone I take the same oath as an elected leader takes, okay? Yeah. You're federal employees in essence. And this is not the old school way of thinking, my friend. I know that you and I did not grow up with this progressive mindset idea that, oh, you can't get those tattoos, but they don't care about how you look in a box. Yeah. To summarize it. So, look, and it sucks, you know, and I hurt for people. Even if they did a little weed, got kicked out. Look, I'm not going to shun them. I'm not going to send them away. Like the way society gets to judge them. Isn't that just terrible? I mean,
it really is.
I get it. We have high standards. I get it, but it's just.
It's real. We all took the same oath, you know, to defend this, you know, to defend this country, you know, from foreign and domestic enemies. It doesn't matter what happened, you know, what forced you to get out of the service. It really just is you still served, and those individuals don't have the right to judge us and say, you know, to tell us what we do and what we can't do, or who we are, or how we really are.
Isn't it weird how it says all enemies, foreign and domestic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that kind of strange how that is snuck in there somehow?
Yeah, it's in there just because it's, you know, it wasn't one of the founding fathers, but, you know, they put it as a, you know, as a group. If someone comes and tries to take over, you know, it's the powers be to be able to defend from it.
Yeah, well, it's a Q that got elected that doesn't think they need to have term limits. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, another moto story. You want another moto story from my crazy salute?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, I get phone calls. I get phone calls a lot. Oh my gosh. I'm not Mr. NASCAR driver, okay? I'm not sponsored by anybody, okay? And I'm not the person. I don't like to ask either.
Yeah.
So, ring. Hi. Hey, Tim. Are you coming through New Mexico? You know, I'm like, no. On my way to DC because I went with Run for the Wall across the country a few times, you know, to DC for my salute from California. And I'm like, I don't think so. He goes, well, my buddy's, you're on his bucket list. He's an Air Force vet. His name is Haas Robinson, last name Robinson. And he can't ride his motorcycle anymore, but he really wanted to ride past you at Rolling Thunder. You know, you're on his bucket list.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. He goes, do you have a picture you could send him and sign it? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, sure.
And I got thinking and talking to my wife. I'm like, Lorraine, Albuquerque is 700 miles from San Diego-ish. Like, why don't we go there and surprise him? Because he's having a birthday party coming up at the American Legion. And I'm on his bucket list, but he'd never be able to ride his motorcycle there. Yeah. So we drove to Albuquerque.
Wow.
And I surprised him as he came in the American Legion with all of his family, his parents, his children, his friends, the whole community.
Wow.
And I saluted him, you know. And then I gave a eulogy. I gave a eulogy about not having any regrets in life.
Yeah.
So then 2 years go by. People are starting, and I didn't know this, but his wife called me and said, Tim, I want you to hear this before it's on Facebook. He's about to pass on.
Wow.
But I want you to know whatever you said that day made him live longer. And we did things I never knew he wanted to do.
Wow.
And because he lived so much longer, people were starting to think that he wasn't sick, but he was pale as a ghost, you know?
Yeah.
And so she called me to let me know because she felt like I had an impact. And then I showed up at the funeral in Dallas, Fort Worth. Now, I paid for a plane. I got there. I was only in a suit and tie, right? I come out of the bushes after they all get seated, and I put my hand on her shoulder. And she just grabs it. She doesn't know who it is, right?
Yeah.
I go, Mrs. Robinson. Mrs. Robinson. And she looks up and sees me and just completely loses it, you know?
Wow.
I wanted her to feel the strength that I was behind her as she was going through that service.
Wow.
And so there's many of these stories that I just have initiative, my friend. I jumped off the curb. I saw maybe I can make an impact. I can make a difference, you know? It all comes down to that, having initiative. That's one of our leadership traits in the Marine Corps, you know?
Yeah. That's and what you're doing. And then as you sit here today, it's you just keep doing, you know, you're doing this and you're paying your own way to these things. It's not like you're, you know, having sponsorships or anything to go and do it, you know, and it's just amazing that you're doing this.
That's how I can serve. That's why maybe I can sit at the table with you and find some common grounds of, Tim,
yeah,
you didn't go there, but you're here and you're fucking doing it. You're not sitting on your ass. You're not just, you know, taking your freedom for granted.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends that pass. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You know, I applaud you for it. It's amazing the work you're doing, Tim. And what you continue to doing with this. You know, you didn't go to combat and stuff like you said, but you know this is absolutely amazing, and this is how you're able to go ahead and serve and support, you know, the veterans, your fellow veterans, as well as, you know, from anything from you know, World War II and all that. It's all these other branches or, you know, wars. You know, it's you're still supporting these individuals, and it's amazing, and you're serving them by doing it this way, and it's an absolutely amazing, and I'm honored to have you on as a guest. You know, this is what you feel inside. And this is what you're doing. Is you're like, I feel this inside this is what God wants me to do, is to do this, and this is what you think is right, is to be able to serve and help, you know, the fellow veterans, you know, your brothers and sisters in arms, to be able to keep supporting them and be able to do this. And I guarantee you, everybody else is like, they're honored to have you to be able to do that. So, I just want to touch on it a little bit with you. What is your vision? What is your long-term, short-term vision that you have to keep doing this? You know, it's, you know, you don't have to have long-term goals, but, you know, short-term or somewhat kind of goals that you want to do to help other veterans. You know, as you're saying, you want to be able to help them with, you know, I know you're saying that you want to help them with some of the stuff that they're doing and supporting them and marketing them, and, you know, pointing more people to those other veterans. You know, what are other, you know, goals, and what's your mission on it?
Well, like, it's kind of been a long time already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is my 26th year saluting. I just want to continue to be there. I've helped a lot of nonprofits by going to the events and helping them raise, you know, not doing much, but just being there and embracing everyone. And people only hear things and make a mistake, okay?
Yeah.
Not on my watch, okay? You never served. Well, you're here today. I think you're serving. You didn't have to take an oath to be here. That's pretty outstanding of you. Okay, that's how I bring everyone into the fold, right? Because when they're there at that event, they're supporting the event, they're supporting others, they're serving.
Yeah.
I don't know, my friend. I don't know whichever the way the wind blows, but I just see this as an awesome idea. I see it as something that's, you know, efficient. I see efficiency. I see like invigorating people to fall in. Fall into the formation. You're going to serve today, my friend. This is how you're going to do it.
Absolutely.
You're going to line up Costco. You're going to get your veteran group that you found, that you said thank you for your service. Then you're going to invite them to Costco to stand by, and the community is going to meet their local heroes, and they're going to see what they do and take their business card. You know what I mean? Like basic brass tacks, basic things. We're not getting complicated. And people need to back it up, otherwise it's a hollow sentiment. And when we present flags, we say on the behalf of a grateful what? So I want to inspire them to be more grateful through action, not just words. And then they go on with their life. You know, that's why we need to be there. That's why the VSOs need to be there. A lot of young bucks don't understand that. They think it's just a watering hole. Not quite. They do a lot of lobbying downrange for the government. And it's kind of like they have big, fluffy head sheds, which maybe they could cut back on and cut down about 3/4 of their programs and get back on track, which is focusing on veterans and not having some crazy little extraterrestrial kind of division of the American Legion that's worrying about economics and foreign relations. Cut that shit out. That ain't saving no vets here at home. You're out of the ranks. Get back to the tax. Right here. This is what you're here for, us.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry, Motivator. I know you didn't ask for my opinion on that one, but
it's okay.
I don't know where this is going to go. I'm just going to try, and I'm going to try to survive, and I'm going to master's degree land for social work and emergency management. That's what I'm doing right now. So, and I do HR for the state. My wife does real estate and loans. She can help bodies. She'll pitch back. Holy macaroni, right? Like, and she's a vet too, Army National Guard, and she supports all this stuff. Every time I get called, I kind of tap dance a little bit, you know. Like, I feel bad saying, Andy, I need a ticket. I feel bad. I'm telling you, I know, but like, I stay at his house. I'm not high maintenance, you know. Like, and he trusts me. And I met him at Laconia, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm doing this for my buddy that can't go up the stairs. We're tired of him crawling up the stairs to use a bathroom, so we want to make a bathroom in the basement." You know, like completely made sense, right? Because I know the VA's got stuff, but that's all time-consuming red tape crap. So, and he's making an epic difference. It's not just, oh, here's 100. Okay, I go to American Legion. I tell them I'm helping vets with unaffordable dental. They give me $100. Then they give me 10 people that need help. How am I going to do that? It doesn't work. I had to stop. I was finding resources, making phone calls, blah, 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 blah. But hey, if we can talk further, as this evolves, I'll keep you in the loop. It's a no-brainer. It is going to rock and roll, and citizens are going to actually work a little bit, you know. And it's not about money. Them donating their time, okay? It's their time, their initiative, and that's what I want to get away from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The money is the stats that the vets made that you put in their pocket, like, you know, real estate, painting, Hartford. You know, I hope they're getting into trades. Just a lot of money to be in trades, and you don't have to go to school for a gazillion years, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like for our youth especially. But I'm not handy. Grandpa just made me be the labor. Okay, I just do the crates around. I just drag the bike. I drag the Christmas trees twice as big as me. Like, I wish that he let me turn a wrench. Then I'd know how to do something. You know?
I mean, that's how I was brought up. I mean, you know, we did everything, you know. And I didn't live with my mother or anything. You know, I was foster care. I went back and forth, and then went to my grandparents.
Oh, I wanted to become mayor because I was a caseworker at Fosterland.
Oh, speaking of that, I just got voted in for the Capital Improvement Board, and in my town. You know, next year maybe I can run for town selectman, and in my town.
Okay.
You know, I have 2 state representatives that probably going to back me up on this. You know, he's actually famous.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So look, the judges, the county's agenda, their narrative. I was getting called on the stand by the bio families. You know what I mean? Like, I get hugs all over town, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how it is. Look, if I made a mistake, I want the judge to know and not take it out on them.
Yeah.
And the attorney for the county almost said, "Are you Are you the warden? I mean, Mom did everything we told her to do. It's been a year and a half. No one's been to her house. She's been there for 12 months. The attorney for the baby's not even been to her house. I don't know what he's been doing. Does he get paid for being here? Because he's not doing anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, holy mackerel. The lives are in a folder, but those are lives. It's not 9 to 5, okay? Like, I was annoying all my caseworkers by doing more visitation time. Like, you know. So anyway, okay. But hey, thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate it, man, and I honor. Definitely let's stay in contact and get everything going. And we'll get everything put onto the podcast and get it out there and stuff like that. And to also the other podcast, which is the Homeland Heroes Foundation, the Homeland Heroes Salute podcast. So I'll have them on both of them, and we'll work it in. And helping out, and again, you know, it's just it's helping one another out with as brother in arms. You know, it's we're taking care of one another no matter what it is. You know, I'll have you even at my house and staying. I know I don't know you, but I still trust you and everything. You're still brother in arms, so you're always more than welcome. But let's stay in contact and everything, and I'll shoot you all that information here later today. But I'll have Beavis and Butthead take it over and tell us how they thought about the show, and let us know what they thought about it.
Right.
We'll see you guys soon, and we'll see you guys later.
Shut up! Shut up! Yeah, shut up! You suck! Stop, in the name of all that which does not suck.
Thanks for watching Fubar Studios Veteran Reinforcement. Please make sure to check out the Fubar Studios on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and visit the website at fubarstudio.com. Fubar Studios is a Sinista1 Productions.